Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Montoya Super Show. Big show tonight. Last episode was a tragedy because half the audio was missing, and it was a big show, lots of viewers, the best episode I made so far. And I have some of the footage still, but it's a tragedy that half the audio, for some reason, was missing, specifically the video segments. I have no idea why. I prepped beforehand, everything was working, then I pushed record or stream, and then it just doesn't work. And I'm gonna jump right into it tonight. Too bad my chat box isn't working. OBS fucking sucks. Every time I do a stream, something happens on OBS. Either with the video, the audio, blah, blah, blah. It's really annoying. I do not like OBS at all. Is there like an alternative to OBS I could use? Yeah, now my chat box isn't working. Cool. So I can just check on my phone. So yes, let's get right into the topics. First, we got this one's very brief. Ozzy's last performance. Now, Ozzy's last performance was 30 years ago, and he still performed. And Sharon Osbourne is one of those people, and was like, no, now Ozzy, we got to make more money, and he was all like, and then he continued touring 30 years later, and this is his last performance. Supposedly he was in a chair the whole time because he can't walk. And yeah, this is his last performance. There's a lot of musical guests, like Metallica playing Johnny Blade, a deep track. And Jason Momoa's there, crowd surfing or whatever. And, everybody had fun. I've seen the footage. It's whatever. Black Sabbath. I was obsessed with Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne when I was a child. And then when I hit like middle school, I just kind of lost interest. I don't know why. But then when I reached my 20s, I got back into them and with a different perspective, and I got, more into the Dio stuff and things like that. But I was really obsessed with them as a kid for some reason. And so yes, let me pull up my chat box on my phone, since on the PC it's not working. I hate OBS so much. There's always an issue. Always. And I realized something. Testing. My mic levels were down on my microphone. Even though it shows on here that you can still hear me. Fine and dandy. But my mic levels are probably a lot better now. Alright. Let's get into it. I'm going to see if the audio is working, because people watch my streams and I know people personally like, I saw your stream last night. While there's a bunch of audio issues, they didn't tell me the whole time. They just sat there. I'm just going to be nice and not say anything. Fuck you. You're not a real friend. You're not a real friend. All right, the audio's working pretty good. All right, so let's get into the big topic for tonight, which is the Epstein no clients list. Now, for 6 years, people have been wanting them to drop the Epstein list, and Trump teased it earlier this year. Also teased the JFK list, the 9/11, I think. Definitely MLK and RFK lists or documents. And they came out and said he offed himself, and also there is no client list that exists, which is a big lie. Everybody from every single walk of life, everybody and their moms is making fun of this. Your mother, who only goes on Facebook, is not social media savvy. What's the word? I don't fucking know. I don't care. It's a stupid French word. The French suck. And your Facebook mom, who doesn't know anything about memes or anything, doesn't know what's going on. She's making fun of this. Everybody is making fun of this. Trump is over with. MAGA died a long time ago, but it already died, but now it's just, they're beating the dead horse. It's beating a dead horse at this point. It ended when Elon got into it, and then it finally died with the whole Israel stuff. And now this is a joke, dude. And I can't believe that. Oh, I can believe that this would happen, but it's ridiculous. Trump chimps out when people question him about this. He's all like, "Why does anybody care? Why does anybody care?" Because we all know he's on the list. So he probably, I was kind of giving him a benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe people are like, well, Trump was seen with Epstein. And I was kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, well, maybe he, wasn't, involved or anything. But I don't know. At this point, he probably is guilty. I would not be surprised of something. The way he reacts to this. He chimps out. I've never seen anything like it. So, here's the video. Wait. So here's the video. Make sure the audio is working.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary who was Miami.
All right, let me replay it. For some reason it doesn't full screen, but here's the video.
Memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night instead?
Yeah, sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
Those are never, well, they might be released to the public, but nothing's going to be revealed, people. And also, why would the CIA or whoever commit these crimes and write it in a file, store it away somewhere to be released someday? That makes no sense. If you're committing a crime, corruption, you wouldn't even document it at all. There's these actual like buffoons thinking that Trump is actually gonna like unearth all the secrets. You guys are children.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never.
We're asking about the client's list and the details about his death. We're not asking to look at the illegal material he has.
Going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a...
They really think like we're gonna believe them, and yeah, a minute missing when he died is very suspicious. They think we're like stupid and weird for even being interested in this or even questioning this. It is so laughable.
Minute that was off the counter, and what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing.
Yeah, he just conveniently offed himself when that happened. Just conveniently.
So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Mr. President.
Wow, so dark MAGA. Dark MAGA. Isn't this dark MAGA? Oh my god, dude. What a joke. What a sick... Hello. But yeah. Yeah, I just think that's ridiculous, personally. Janitor walked in. Yeah, I don't get why, like, I don't even know why they bother even, like, bringing up that they're going to unearth these files if they're actually not going to unearth anything or just make up stuff, you know. Ridiculous. All right, next topic. Diddy is free. Yep, isn't that shocking? He is free. He got off all the serious charges. He just has light charges. I think it's like prostitution or something like that. And yeah, and I'm not surprised, but I have this really interesting video because this is a little bit of an old topic of, hold on, let me find the video real quick, of Steve Harvey, everybody's favorite Steve Harvey, who is host of Family Feud. Everybody likes Family Feud, right? Well, do you like him now after watching this video that has been unearthed?
Hi, Steve.
Yes.
I've been married for 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
By the grace of God. My husband is a pastor. And we don't get to spend a lot of time together. So we've found Thursdays as being fun Thursdays for the two of us. And we go somewhere different every time, a new restaurant. We tried new hotels. We've ordered pizza out and done fun things like that. But we're kind of bored now. So we're looking for some new ideas from you. So could you help us out with some fun Thursdays? And remember, I'm a pastor's wife. So. Amen.
This is Ask Steve. Maybe you should have went to the other show and asked Joel Osteen. I ain't really got no Christian answer for you. You want to spruce things up with the pastor. I'm just gonna have to keep it real with you. Y'all been having like bowling night and pizza night and all like that. Just throw some baby oil in there. Pastor, it ain't.
Excuse me? Do you want me to play that back? What did he say after pizza? What goes on pizza goes with pizza?
Just throw some baby oil in there. I had to keep it real with you. Y'all been having like bowling night and pizza night and all like that.
Pizza?
Just throw some baby oil in there.
Oh, baby oil with pizza? Oy vey.
Pastor, it ain't nothing sinful about throw some baby oil in there. Even, I'm telling you, baby oil is, it just go with everything. You can get baby oil on pizza. I done got it on pizza.
Baby oil on pizza? Why does he keep talking about baby oil on pizza?
Pizza before. You taste it, you can't even hardly taste it. I done had baby oil all around my mouth before. I don't even know what's on there. I just suggest a baby.
What the fuck? Dude. I can't believe he's saying all of this.
All type night. It's just baby oil.
All right.
Praise the Lord, baby oil.
It was there the entire time. Oh my God. Does anybody else find that shocking? Or is it just me? Wow. Baby oil on pizza. So he's one of the bad ones. Steve Harvey is one of the bad ones. Did you forget the names like Bill Cosby? Wait, did Bill Cosby forget the names like Steve Harvey? That is unreal. What is next on the list? Oh, yes. Tucker Carlson interviews Iranian president. This is wild. I've never watched this. It might be boring. Who knows? But let's give it a try, shall we?
Mr. President, thank you very much for doing this. There is a pause, or seems to be a pause, in the war between the United States and Iran. How do you think this will end? How would you like to see it end?
We did not start this war, and we do not want this war to continue in any way. From the very beginning, it was the motto of my administration that I always adhere to, and that was fostering the national unity inside the country and also fostering peace and tranquility and friendship with the neighboring countries and with the rest of the world.
The American President Donald Trump has said that the United States...
Will I get copyright strike for this? I'm not sure. If Tucker copyright strikes me over this, I'm going to tickle him silly till he laughs to death.
Bombed your enrichment facilities because the government of Iran refused to give up its nuclear program. And that there can be no peace until Iran does give up that nuclear program. would you be willing to give up the nuclear program in exchange for peace?
I would like to tell you what has happened, and it was Netanyahu since 1984 has created this false mentality that Iran seeks a nuclear bomb, and it has insinuated that Iran is trying to develop a nuclear bomb in the past, and it has put it in the minds of every U.S. president since then, and to make them believe that we would like to have a nuclear bomb. But the truth is that we have never been after developing a nuclear bomb, not in the past, not presently, or in the future, because this is wrong, and this is in contrast to the religious decree or the fatwa which has been issued by His Eminence, the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, that so it is religiously forbidden for us to go after a nuclear bomb. And this was always corroborated thanks to our cooperation with IAEA, because they were always there to verify this and to substantiate that we have never wanted a nuclear bomb. But unfortunately, this cooperation was disturbed by the unlawful attacks against our nuclear facilities.
So you have, according to news reports, withdrawn your cooperation from IAEA, the International Nuclear Regulatory Agency. And so there's, I suppose, no way for the rest of the world to know.
Yeah, United States and Israel love making up that these Middle Eastern countries have like these powerful nukes and shit, and they don't even have the budget to even make bombs, missiles that big, you know? It's ridiculous. I mean, they lied about it with Iraq, and there's people to this day that still believe that, oh, the weapons of mass destruction. And it cracks me up when there's like Iraq war veterans that are like, I fought to defend you from the weapons of mass destruction. It's like, oh, so you defended me over a MacGuffin, aka something that doesn't exist. The weapons of mass destruction in Iraq is as real as the Ark and the Covenant from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay? Give me a break.
How much uranium you're enriching and to what extent, to what percentage is being enriched. And so is there any way to verify, and would you be willing to allow other nations to verify that you are not building nuclear weapons?
Mr. Carson, sir, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that we were right in the middle of holding talks with the United States, and the President of the United States invited us to hold such talks in order to have peace. And we were told during the process of these negotiations and talks that as long as we don't give the permission to Israel, they are not going to attack you. And we were going to have the next round of the talks very soon, but in the middle of it, suddenly Israel torpedoed the negotiating table. We were sitting at the negotiating table when it happened, and by doing
every single time, they're always getting into little shenanigans, aren't they? I mean, these are the same people that think they can win a debate with God like it's a Destiny versus Nick Fuentes YouTube debate. That's what these people believe in. They can do that with God.
This, they totally ruined and destroyed diplomacy. And in order to answer your question with regards to the surveillance or the supervision over our nuclear program, I would like to say that we are ready to hold talks over it. We have never been the party that has run away from verification. We stand ready to have these supervisions. But unfortunately, as a result of the United States unlawful attacks against our nuclear centers and installations, many of the pieces of equipment and the facilities there have been severely damaged. Therefore, we don't have any access to them. We cannot We cannot see, and unless this access is going to be back there again, we have to wait for it and to see what happens and how much they have been damaged so that we can go for the supervision.
There have been news reports that your government believes that the IAEA was spying on the government of Iran and passing information to Israel. Do you believe that? And if so, do you have evidence that that's true that the world could see?
And I would like to tell you that we were, yes, somehow pessimistic about the activities of the IAEA, because somehow we realized that Israel could get information from the inspections which were carried out by the IAEA, but it never prevented the IAEA from carrying out their activities inside Iran, and they had full access to supervise and to have surveillance over our nuclear facilities. But there was this lack of trust. As a result of the last report by IAEA, the type of the report and the way they prepared the report somehow gave an excuse to the Israeli regime and prepared the ground for their unlawful and unauthorized attack against our nuclear facilities. And even after that, the IAEA failed to condemn these attacks or try to anyway to stop them. And this ran counter to the international law, and this resulted in a widespread lack of trust among the Iranian legislators, and the public opinion here.
You've suggested that you were anxious to resolve your conflicts with the United States through diplomacy, and that was derailed by war. Would you be willing to restart diplomacy? And could you tell us in general but precise terms the kind of deal you would be willing to accept?
You see, I am of the belief that we could very much easily resolve our differences and conflicts with the United States through dialogue and talks. And, the international law could serve as the framework or the basis for a deal in which the rights of all nations, Iranian nation, would be respected. But unfortunately, it was Netanyahu that destroyed these diplomacy and these diplomatic efforts. We have always, we never wanted anything beyond the respect for our rights, rightful rights, enshrined in international law. But as I said, it was Netanyahu that brought unrest to our region and is fomenting unrest and tensions in the region. As I have always said, we have always been after peace. It has been my motto. It has been my belief. It has been my heartfelt opinion that we need to live in peace and harmony during this short and limited time granted to us by God Almighty, to live in peace and tranquility with everybody. And everybody in the world should live like that. But I would also like, on the other hand, to reiterate that our people are capable enough to defend themselves.
This translator can't even catch up with them.
In self-defense during any kind of attack. And I believe that the United States president can very well guide the region and the world to peace and tranquility, or, on the other hand, to lead it.
Tucker Carlson went from interviewing Ariel Pink to going on Red Scare podcast to interviewing Putin and the Iranian president. Isn't that funny? Think about
to forever wars.
Do you have plans to re-enter negotiations with the United States, with envoy Steve Witkoff or anyone else? And if not, what do you think will happen?
We see no problem in re-entering the negotiations. But before that, I have to remind you that
I'm mutual friends with Ariel Pink, which means I share a degree of separation with the Iranian president and Putin.
Because of the atrocities by the Zionist regime, by Israel, not just against my country, but in the whole region. We are now facing a crisis. The people are facing a crisis that we need to put it behind ourselves. Our commanders were off duty. They were spending the night at their homes with their families, but they were killed. And this is considered a war crime according to the international law, because they were off duty, as I said, for our scientists were also killed and assassinated along with their families and their wives and their children. They were also killed. Pregnant women, children, they were killed in the atrocities, in the attacks of the Israeli regime. Just because they wanted to kill one single person, they had to demolish and destroy a whole building. And as a result of this, a lot of innocent people were killed. A lot of people were killed. And as I said, there is this crisis that we have to put it behind ourselves. And there is a condition, there is a provision for the restarting the talks. How are we going to trust the United States again? We re-enter the negotiations, then how can we know for sure that in the middle of the talks, the Israeli regime will not be given the permission again to attack us?
Do you believe the Israeli government tried to assassinate you?
They did try, yes. And they acted accordingly, but they failed. And as a true believer, I believe that it is in the hands of the God Almighty to determine when a person will die or will not die. If he wills, the God Almighty wills, then you can die when you are walking freely in the streets. And but I would like to tell you that I am not afraid of sacrificing myself for in defense of my country, and in safeguarding and defending the sovereignty, the freedom and the independence of my country. I'm willing to give my life, to give blood for that. And nobody here, I mean, none of the government officials is afraid of losing their lives in line of defense. But will it bring security to the region? I mean, bloodshed, more bloodshed, assassination, killing others. Will it bring peace and tranquility and stability to the region?
With respect, can you tell us how you know that you were an assassination target? A week and a half ago, I don't believe I've seen that confirmed anywhere. How are you certain they tried to kill you?
Is that fact checked? Is that fact checked? I mean, isn't it kind of obvious? It's like when you're at war, like, with another country, you probably are trying to take out the leader, I would think.
Of course, it was not the U.S. that was behind my the attempt on my life. It was Israel. I was in a meeting. We were discussing the ways to move forward, but thanks to the intelligence by the spies that they had, they tried to bombard the area that we were holding that meeting, in which we were holding that meeting. But as I told you before, it is God who wills when a person will die and give up his life. And once again, I would like to emphasize that we are not afraid of martyrdom. We are not afraid of sacrificing our lives for our people, for our independence. And I would like to tell you that this imposed war by the Israeli regime resulted in one thing, and that was more solidarity and unity amongst the Iranian people. And it proved yet once again that the Iranian people, no matter where they are in the whole wide world, they do care about their country, about the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of their motherland. And as I said, this brought about more solidarity, and it united us further. Thanks to this act of aggression by the Israeli regime. My proposal is that the U.S. administration should refrain from getting involved in a war that is not its war, that is not America's war. It is Netanyahu's war that is having its devilish machinations for the whole region. It has its own agenda. He has his own agenda, Netanyahu, I mean, inhuman agenda, and that is having forever wars that go on and on and on. And this is my proposal to the United States, not to be fooled by Netanyahu, not to be dragged into this kind of war.
Many Americans are afraid of Iran. You say you're not afraid, but Americans are afraid of Iran. And they believe that Iran would like to strike the United States with a nuclear weapon. They see video of Iranians saying death to America, describing our country as the great Satan. What is your opinion of that? Should we be afraid of Iran?
I believe that this is a very wrong impression that anybody might have of Iran or the Iranians. I would like to remind you that Iran has never invaded another country in the last 200 years. When they say death to the United States, it doesn't mean they don't mean death to the people of the United States or even to the officials of the United States. They mean death to crimes, death to killing and carnage, death to supporting killing others, death to insecurity and instability. Have you ever heard that an Iranian killing an American? Have you ever heard that? Or a terrorist that was Iranian and he carried out a terrorist attack against the Americans? No, it was your president who confessed that the Americans created the ISIS in our region, and they were responsible for this wrong image that is portrayed of religion or the Muslims in the world. And once again, I would like to tell you and remind you that this is not death to the American people or to the officials. Death to crimes and atrocities, to bullying, to the use of force, and anybody who would like to become an accomplice in the crimes perpetrated by others.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's majority of people in America, people I know, think that Persians are Arabs. They actually believe this, that they're all the same. Even like Armenian, they think like Armenians are Arabs. And it's just laughable that people don't understand the cultural differences. And yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure about Persian men because I've heard negative things, but I've gone along with Persian people, Persian women, especially, who are the hottest girls on earth. But yeah, I need to wife me up a Persian woman. If you're Persian and you're a woman, DM me.
Two Iranian ayatollahs have issued fatwas against Donald Trump. What does that mean exactly, and what do you think of it?
To the best of my knowledge, they have not issued decrees or fatwas against any individual or against Donald Trump. And first off, it has nothing to do with the Iranian government or to His Eminence, the Supreme Leader of Iran. Or what they actually meant by the fatwa was in condemnation of an insult to a religion or religious personalities. And they were actually saying that this is deplorable, this is unacceptable. So it was not directed towards the U.S. president or any other individual, and there might be people with their own ideas and opinions, but I can assure you that the meaning of this fatwa should not be construed or considered as a threat against any individual.
Has Iran ever backed an assassination attempt against Donald Trump?
This is actually what Netanyahu is trying to insinuate and to make your people or the president of your country to believe. But this is wrong because Netanyahu, as I said, has its own agenda. It wants to drag the U.S. into forever wars, as I said, and to bring more insecurity, instability, and unrest to the whole region.
There are some large number of Iranian nationals living in the United States. Some have said they are, quote, sleeper cells. They are terrorists who are acting at the command of your government. Would you right now make a statement to Iranian citizens living in the United States not to commit acts of violence in the United States?
You see, these things you're telling me, this is the first time I'm hearing them from you or from anybody. You know, the Iranians are known for their knowledge, for their science, for their courtesy, for being civilized. Have you seen otherwise from them, any other kind of behavior from them, or any violent behavior? Has anybody ever seen anything from them? Yeah, as I said, this is what Israel is trying to put into your minds. They are propagating that Iranians might be capable of doing the thing, but this is totally true, because by nature Iranians are pro peace and tranquility, and they're trying to actually make to somehow impact the minds of the decision makers and the people of the United States, and to scare them into getting involved in a war in my region that is not going to ensure any kind of interest for the United States. It is not to be in the interest of the United States to be involved in any kind of war in my region.
It wasn't that long ago, it was during the revolutionary period in Iran, that Iran had relations with Israel and commercial relations with Israel and reputedly bought weapons from Israel. What happened? How did that change? Who changed it and why, that relationship?
Israel itself is to blame because just look at what they have been doing in the last couple of years in Palestine, in Gaza. What Netanyahu has been doing, killing women and children, bombing schools and hospitals and civilian and residential areas. This is nothing short of a full-scale genocide. There, they have blocked the entry of food and medicine, any kind of humanitarian relief to Gaza. So this has adversely impacted the way my country and the whole region looks at Israel. And this, their own behavior and their own actions are to blame, because this is unacceptable what they have been doing in my region. And as far as I know, we have never received any kind of a weapon from Israel. And I would like to tell you, even at that time, we did not want to have weapons. We did not want to have wars. We did not want to fight the Iraqis. It was the war that was imposed on us. And just like the way that this war was imposed on us by the Israeli regime, we did not attack Israel. They attacked us.
Can you imagine at the end of the diplomatic exchange with the United States, a world in which American companies invest again in Iran, sanctions are lifted, there is peace in the region? Is that your goal? And do you think it's possible?
From the very beginning of my administration, I first tried to have the domestic solidarity and unity, further unity amongst the Iranian people. Then we tried to have better relations with our neighboring countries of Iran. And then I had this talk with His Eminence, the Supreme Leader of Iran, and during which His Eminence emphasized that there is no limitation and there is nothing preventing the U.S. investors to come to Iran and to make investments in Iran, even presently. There has never been any limitation, anything barring them from coming into Iran, and this is the belief of the Supreme Leader of Iran. But once again, I would like to tell you that it is Israel that does not want such things to happen in the region. Israel does not want to see peace and tranquility in the region. But I would like to once again repeat that the United States President, Mr. Trump, he's capable enough to guide the region towards the peace and a brighter future, and put Israel in its place, or get into a pit, an endless pit or a swamp. And that is a war that Netanyahu wants the United States or the U.S. president to be dragged into. So it is up to the United States president to choose which path that I told you about. And as I told you, there is nothing preventing the commercial or industrial or economic activities by the U.S. Business people and investors. And of course, if there was a limitation, it was caused by the U.S. sanctions, not by us.
Mr.
Okay. We'll just end it right there, or that segment right there. Moving on. What do I have next? Ha! Yeah, some good topics now. People are raving about Les Bébés. Do you guys know about Les Bébés? They're like the new Beanie Babies. And this Australian, I'm pretty sure she's Australian. She looks Australian. Australian women always have that makeup. She's got the Australian physiognomy. I really like Australian women. They're my favorite women on earth. And this chick right here has a labubu. All right. A 24 karat gold labubu. Let's watch. Uh-oh.
24 karat. I have the one and only 24 karat. I have the one and only 24 karat gold labubu. I have the one and only 24 karat gold labubu. The one and only 24 karat gold labubu. This is the only 24 karat gold labubu. My 24 karat gold labubu. Now, I am now going to prove to you all that my 24 karat gold labubu. So, my 24 karat gold labubu. So, as you all know, I am the proud owner of the 24 karat gold labubu. My 24 karat gold labubu. My 24 karat labubu. I am the only person in the world to have a 24 karat gold labubu. I own the only 24 karat gold labubu. I can't believe it. I've been out today and someone's stolen my 24 karat gold labubu.
What?
Get ready with me while I get ready to go to the news station about my 24 karat gold labubu.
Wow, that is so devastating. She lost her 24 karat gold labubu. Now, I just found out about labubus, and is labubu dangerous? Safety concerns, theft and violence. There are numerous reports of labubus being stolen, sometimes leading to aggressive encounters. One Redditor shared a horrifying experience. Someone tried to grab onto mine as I walked through some crowds in a garden. Another mentioned, I've shared before how I was a little kid during the Cabbage Patch Kids craze in the United States and bore witness to human stupidity. Car break-ins. Leaving a labubu in a car can be risky to the high demand and potential for threat. I've seen too many TikToks of people breaking into people's cars for a labubu. Physical harm. The craze over a labubu has escalated to the point where some individuals are getting physically harmed. As someone who lives in London now, I'm generally worried for my own safety just for carrying a toy. Security measures. Using security attachments. Many collectors recommend using locking carabiners or other secure attachments to keep labubu safe on bags. Avoid high-risk areas. It's advised be cautious in crowded or high-traffic areas where theft is more likely. I would keep one or two if they make you happy, but keep them at home or wear them as a big charm only in brightly lit public places. Ethical and social impact. Aggressive scalpers. The high demand for labubu has attached scalpers, making it difficult for genuine collectors to obtain them. Emotional impact. The stress and anxiety associated with owning labubu can diminish the joy of collecting. I don't even feel happy anymore when I took my labubus. Just stress or confusion. As I'm sure many of you already heard, blah, blah, blah. As someone who lives in London, I'm now generally worried for my own safety. Wow. These labubus are the craze. But yeah. Is this woman... What would you rate this woman?
One and only 24 karat gold labubu.
She's not 10. Not an 8. 6 maybe?
Have the one and only 24 karat gold labubu. The
7?
One and only 24 karat gold Labubu.
I think a 7. She's a 7. I said it. That Labubu girl, it's a 7. And I'm giving this one a solid 7.6. I don't understand that Labubu craze. They're creepy, they're demonic looking. And yeah, I understand Beanie Babies. I mean, they are a bit better than Funko Pops. Funko Pops are just scary looking. They look like something out of, I was going to say a horror movie, but really they look like Funko Pops. Labubus also remind me of this, but more so Funko Pops. Funko Pops remind me of an evil toy in a Toy Story movie. That's what they remind me of. I'm curious about something. Funko Pop. Let's go to the Funko Pop subreddit, shall we? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. I mean, at least there's other toys. Oh, look, some One Piece posters. Oh my god. Oof. Fucking terrifying. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Like, people actually buy these? How disgusting, dude. Oh! Wow. What is this? What the fuck's this? Oh. Squid Game Funko. I got the Gooner one. What? What are they talking about? A Gooner Funko? Don't let your wife catch you. Wait, what? Looking forward to getting a jar. What the fuck? This is real, dude. So he's gonna put this Funko Pop in a jar. How terrifying. That is vile, dude. That person should be locked away from society. How disgusting. I didn't even know that was a thing. Goon. Is that a thing? The Goon. Do people goon to Funko Pops? Is this a thing that I don't know about? Oh my god. How disgusting. Alright, oh my god. Oh my god, what? If I see this in your house, I am screaming for the police. Alright, you are a terrifying human being. If I see this in your house. Yeah, I guess people goon to Funko Pops. I just now discovered that. Hello. Do you know, I'm on the Funko Pop subreddit right now. Do you know that there's people that goon to Funko Pops? Really? Yeah, there's a guy on here that he's like, there's one where it's like wearing a bikini. Oh, wow. And he says this. I got the Gooner one. And this is his description. Looking forward to getting a jar. Someone comments, don't let your wife catch you. I just randomly came across this. So I was talking about Labubu's.
Power.
I was talking about Labubu's, and I was curious, and I was like, well, I'm just going to go to the Funko Pop subreddit, and I found this. So he's going to put this in a jar. Did you know that's a thing?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Putting them in jars to preserve them, or?
I think to do other stuff. In the jar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe I think it's similar to like there's those people that have the weird like getting stepped on fetish.
Yeah.
Like they're into like gigantic like anime girls and getting stomped on. I got my next topic, my Zoomer rant. But first, I'm going to go pee, and you can get on mic if you want, or I can just mute this for a little bit.
Either way.
I'll just mute this for a little bit.
Yeah.
What was that? Yes, on with the show. You should join for this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Odd product placement. Here we go.
My crotch is in the shot. I don't think that's bad.
We're a little sideways here.
Yeah. Stylistic choice, obviously.
Very abstract, very avant-garde.
All right, next topic is I wanted to do a rant on Zoomers. Now, we are the same age, 1998 born, and
Representing.
we are technically Gen Z, but are we really Gen Z?
I don't know. It's Gen Z. That could be considered Gen Zoomer. Terminology is a little blurry there. But I guess we are. Well, I mean, on Wikipedia it says that we're Gen Z because we're born late 90s.
Well, Wikipedia is always right.
Yeah.
But Gen Z, yeah. So we're Gen Z, the oldest of Gen Z, and I have an issue. I got a bone to pick on these Zoomers, and yeah. So I come across a lot of Zoomers, specifically people that are in their early 20s, late teens, early 20s, around there. So what, born in the mid 2000s, and or after, I guess. And yeah, there's something going on with them. There's something up. There's just something really weird going on with them. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. But first of all, I don't know where to begin with this, but I don't remember where I saw this. A few people made this point. I don't know if it was an IG reel. I don't know what this was, but they were talking about millennials, and they were talking about how millennials. I remember back then when people made fun of millennials for being like cringe and like, oh, they dress weird. They're into dumb stuff. Remember this? Like 2011 era. Millennial became the butt of a joke. There was Family Guy episodes.
This was pre-boomer days.
Yeah, remember the Family Guy? There's like Family episodes where like, the millennials are on their phones nonstop. Yeah. And oh, they dress weird and things like that. Somebody made a good point where they're like, well, two things. Millennials had confidence. They weren't embarrassed by being cringe. And also, they took a lot of big risks. They started weird businesses. They made all this music and did all this stuff out of nothing during the financial crisis of the late 2000s. And they took risks and weren't afraid of being cringe, which is what Gen Z is afraid of. That is a huge issue, which is really funny and ironic because Gen Z is very self-conscious and doesn't want to be cringe, come off as cringe, but they are cringe. And so they are cringe. right? And that's the ironic part. And can you think of, there's like Gen Z celebrities and stuff, but can you think of like a groundbreaking Gen Z figure? Groundbreaking.
Trailblazer, Maverick of the Gen Z.
Is there a Gen Z Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, well,
it doesn't exist.
What about Greta? What's her name?
Has there been a Gen Z person that invented something or grand or changed music forever or did anything like that? No, there is not. You know why?
Justin Bieber.
He's millennial.
Oh.
You know why? Because Gen Z is scared of trying anything. And this is my huge issue. I've had so many conversations with Zoomers and okay, like for Zoomers, there's this thing, you know this, it's been going on for years now on like TikTok and stuff. Zoomers are really obsessed with like mental health disorders.
Oh yeah.
That they're not even diagnosed with.
Yep.
They're obsessed with it, and they make this their entire personality. And you come across these people in real life, like in conversation, they'll be like, I'm sorry, it's just my OCD. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm autistic and OCD and I don't know who AC/DC is. And,
AC/DC, yes.
ADD, you name it.
And this is a weird thing, and this also goes along with sexualities. Like I know Zoomers who mentioned themselves being not even gay, but like fucking, I don't know, polyamorous or something every 2 minutes.
Yeah, mental illness is
brought up.
fluid.
Yeah, and there's also a weird thing where they combine the two now, where it's like a disorder is like also linked with the sexuality. Like there's this weird thing where I saw it. I think there's probably a name for it. I'm gonna look it up, where it's like gay people that are deaf.
Oh wow.
Gay people deaf.
Bible.
I'm deaf and gay.
And I do belong.
Deaf gays. HOH?
HOH, huh? I would have thought that was like
HOH.
a D&D thing.
LGBT. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Acronym.
Oh, dude. Oh, brother. You know what HOH stands for?
Housing Authority.
Hard of hearing.
Oh.
Hard of hearing. That's now part of the HOH.
Oh, wow.
Gay has their own title now. That's
HOH, huh?
A deaf gay person.
That's pretty.
And this is why I discovered this recently. I didn't know this was a thing because a few gay LGBT, let's just say that, people I came across, a lot of them like know sign language, or they talk about sign language a lot. And I started picking up a pattern, and then one day I looked it up. I don't know, or no, I came across something. I saw something like a flyer or something that mentioned this, that this is like a label. So it's HOH.
Hard of hearing.
LGBT, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know where this started, but I like kind of discovered this through because they're always really into like sign language and deaf, and I don't know where this started, but yeah. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is there's this obsession with. There's an obsession with misery. That's why the whole doomer meme is a popular thing. That's why people being a NEET and not employed, not educated, seeking, whatever that term is, person is a thing, glamorized, and so many Zoomers I know talk about rotting in their bedroom there's this they love being miserable, and a lot of them, like, I'll talk to them about things I do, like, yeah, I have a YouTube show or blah blah blah, I'm doing this, and they're like, why do you do that? And this is also, they say too, aren't you embarrassed? They're always so focused on, they ask that question to everybody, if you do something really like out there, that's putting yourself out there or risky, they always ask, are you embarrassed? Which is like, what? That's what you're focused on? And it's like, you are embarrassing.
Yeah.
So you're cringe. You yourself are, just for even asking that. And like, I came across this guy recently at a party, and who is definitely like the prototypical Zoomer. I know this guy definitely goes on Discord 24. He lives on Discord servers, and because he had an anime girl shirt, and he had a beta temperament, and that's a real thing. That temperament's real, and he was very liberal. I'm sorry, but politics is temperament. Political beliefs are in people's temperament. You can tell where someone stands on the political spectrum based on their temperament. And that regardless of the liberal thing, he was having, this is what Zoomers do too. Like, we're at like a party, fun, light atmosphere, and all this guy wants to do is argue about politics. And it's like an inappropriate place.
Read the room.
He's debating with this pretty girl, and who he should be rizzing, but instead he's just debating about politics with her. And he kept doing this, where this is what I'm talking about, the Zoomer mentality. They love misery, where he's like, we're just fucked anyways. We're just fucked. You know, I'm so sick of that. It's like you hear people like, we're just stardust, bro. Mm-hmm. It's just a loot. I learned this a long time ago when I was even early 2010s atheist type. And I learned this after that phase, that nihilism is for losers, and it's not a good ideology to have. And but yeah, this guy is like, we're just fucked, and then I made a joke, and I made a joke. I told him, I was like, listen, we're not having a Destiny Hassan Piker debate here. We're at a party. And he's all like, do you even think anybody knows who those are? Like, do you care how embarrassing what you just said was? It's like, do you care? And I was like, no, I don't care. With conviction. And it's just like...
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
This is what I'm talking about. Do you care? Oh, what do people would think? Whoa. Mm-hmm. Just stop.
Yeah, no shit.
And also, these Zoomers don't take care of themselves. I was fat at one point. I was a few years ago. A lot of people probably remember. You could probably follow videos from 2021 when I was drinking every day. I got grotesque looking, and yeah, Zoomers. They don't take care of. A lot of them don't take care of themselves. They're very gross to look at, and it's because they're ugly inside. When you're ugly inside, you become ugly on the outside. And I want to say this too. I've never met all the people in my life that have been like rude, mean, bad people have been physically ugly. And I've never met an attractive person, pretty person, angelic person that was mean or rude. Never. That whole pretty girls are usually mean thing is fake. That is fake.
It is fake.
Every person I've known that's been vindictive, wanting to tear me down, have all been ugly. Inside and out. And this is all a lie. And that ugly people, these Zoomers, TikTokers, put in the ether for people to believe in. And it is all a lie. And like, this is what Zoomers, they have no fucking social skills. I've had this a lot. I walked down the street, this happened the other day. Saw somebody, a chick with a cool black flag shirt. It was actually a cool shirt without even thinking, because it's my natural instinct I've been doing since I was a child where, you know, you walk down this, you walk by like, hi, how's it going?
Yeah.
I've done that since I was a freaking little kid.
Right.
I don't even think I was taught it. It might have just been observation, something you just pick up on.
Yeah. Just curiosity of the human being. You know?
I saw this chick without any, I saw a cool shirt. This is my brain. Cool shirt. That's a cool shirt. This is what she does. Walks away. Hits me with the fluoride stare. And they all do this. If they don't say it, they hit you. They don't say anything, and they hit you with the fluoride stare.
Yep.
And this is another thing. This happened at the same party. I hated this. Well, actually, no offense, because I like the couple that run it. I had fun at the party, but I'm warning you guys, there's a few people there that were bad apples and shouldn't have been there. This chick, this happened so many times. Walking around, everybody's doing the same thing. They're walking to me when I walked in. What's your name? My name's Ash. And then I asked them, then the person right next, what's your name? They'd be like, oh, my name's Adam. Nice to meet you, Adam. I got to this chick. I was doing this with girls. What's your name? Oh, my name's Caitlin. Nice to meet you, Caitlin. Got to this chick. What's your name? I have a boyfriend.
I thought that was a meme. That really happened?
This has happened a few times in my life. Not every woman does this, obviously.
No.
But many of them do this.
Yeah.
This
Wow.
fucking... Two things. That is the most unattractive thing you can do to a man. And if you have a boyfriend, by the way, my woman would never talk like that to anybody. Your boyfriend's a fucking loser, okay? And third, what was I going to say? You're a beta female. That's a thing, beta female.
Very true.
Forget beta male, beta female. That is beta female behavior. And you know what I did? You know what happened? I'll proudly say this. I don't care. I was with a friend, and we laughed a little bit. I was in the car with my friend. We saw her, walking alone down the street. It's weird she showed up alone, and guess what? She had this weird face too. This is a lot of Zoomers. They're always crying inside. Her face, I noticed this. She's like, she was walking down the street with that face.
Right.
And I rolled down the window. I didn't catcall. I would never do anything like that. This is one of my funny things I do, because it's so absurd. I have a battle cry that I do to scare people, and it's bah! I just did that. She went, ooh.
Yeah, it threw her off.
Because it's not cackle. That's usual. That's lame. But the funniest, any gender, anybody, the funniest, because people feel it's do stupid stuff, but it's so weird, and it messes with the senses because it's so bizarre. You go, and you look at them, you go, you give that face, and it actually messes with, it messes with the senses.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just so weird. You're just like, they put something there trying to like, what?
Yeah, get them out of their head a little bit.
But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is a lot of Zoomers are like this.
Yeah.
Or you're talking, I had this happen too, where I was talking to somebody, another band T person, I was talking about music with them. I started talking about music. Guess what they did? Yeah, I also like this band. Have you ever listened to this album, Da 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 Ba Ba, while I'm talking? They just walk away in the mid sentence. This is also what Zoomers do.
Very
and
true.
you might be like, oh, they have
Oh, yeah.
autism.
Yeah. Cop out.
They all do
Cop
at this
out.
point. They all do at this point. I don't know what this is. No, it's just being a Zoomer. This is all it is. I don't know what this is. And I'm tired of it. It's annoying. I'm tired of being... They love trying to shame me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got...
They'll
Develop...
censor you.
Yeah, I can... This is how you guys can be fixed. Start going out there and following your dreams. Take care of yourself physically, health-wise. Have swag. A lot of you guys don't have swag. You know what a lot of guys do that don't have swag? They become those safe, sleazy guys. The mullet, mustache, the ironic t-shirt. Like they'll have like a cat t-shirt. And a mullet and mustache.
Oh, boy.
And it's like, who are you trying to impress?
Yeah.
Guess what? These guys, because Zoomer women are so stupid, they actually fall for these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because their brains are so messed up because they were at 14 years old. They had a 32-year-old boyfriend that messed them up. And now this is every generation. But they probably had a 32-year-old boyfriend that looked like that, and then when they hit 18, they'd start dating those guys that are their age that look like that. That's my theory.
I believe
Why
that.
they're into the safe, sleazy guy. And so, yeah, and I'm just so sick of it. And they're always so stuck up and prudish. These people, too, they're like, we're sex positive, pro-porn, OnlyFans. But then when you bring up something edgy or sexual, they're like, ooh. It's like, what is it then? You can't have one or the other.
Very true, yeah.
You can't have one or the other. I mean, these people are the most prudish people ever. I work as hard as I can every day. I max out my swag as much as possible. I follow my dreams as much as possible. I become a likable person as much as possible. I do everything maxed out as much as possible. And this is for real. To spite these people. This is something I think about every single day. And when I come across these people every other day, I do this. I do what I do. I win every day to spite these people as a fuck you because they'll never, ever, ever, ever do this because they'll have no friends forever and they'll die alone because they're assholes and they're prudes and they hate themselves. And I am sick of Gen Z people like this.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to fill in with this? Any bad experience? Anything weird you notice?
Well, I found tampons in the men's bathroom, but anyway,
Yeah, okay, what is with that? What is with that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a little fruity myself, but that's pretty
Yeah,
out there for
yeah,
me.
what is with that?
I don't understand quite. I don't know. I don't know where you stick it.
Yeah, like, and there's a lot of them too.
Because there is.
There's more than there is in the women's restrooms. I was a janitor for the longest time. I was the guy that had to change out the tampons. I was that guy.
Yep.
And you women are fucking evil. You throw garbage. You put giant thing like bottles in there.
Find all kinds of stuff in there, yeah. I
These
did that at Goodwill.
These tampon boxes. You fucking... Us men
War zone.
will never forget this.
It's the real war zone.
when us men are on our deathbeds and our wives, our daughters visit us on my deathbed, I'm going to be like, I'm not going to forget what you guys do with the tampon boxes. I will never forget.
It's just a big bloody mess, you know. It's just in disarray. It's not easy to clean. And yeah, they throw a lot of other things in there, you know, all kinds of wrappers.
Why do you guys think incels, angry incels exist? Why else do you think they exist? Because what you do in the tampon boxes and what we have to do.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we give the women the right to vote. This is what happens.
Women's suffrage.
Yeah, they should have suffered more.
No, women's suffrage.
Yeah.
More like women's porridge. But anyway. Yeah.
All right. Do I have anything else to say about Gen Z? Yeah, just get fired, be brave, and have swag, and stop being embarrassed, and your life will change forever. All right.
As Melania Trump said, be best.
Be best.
Be best.
All right. I got 2 last things. It's videos that are really fun, and this is really good that you're here because they're about gay videos.
What kind of gay videos?
Not those kind.
I know. But yeah, I could bring a little insight maybe.
There's one you can bring insight on, but
perhaps.
Hold on, I don't know if these headphones are still on. Let me test these real quick.
I got a little BLT in my LG, so let's check
Let me
it
test
out.
the audio on here real quick.
Older.
Okay, the audio's working. So, all right, and we're gonna start with this one.
We're not watching The Island Boys, right?
No, but this is a video of somebody doing a prank to this old man. So this guy does a prank where hold on, let me screen share real quick. See, this guy does he does pranks, and he did a prank where he puts up signs, like, you know, there's handicap parking and stuff, but instead it's gay parking only. And so he goes up to the person that parks there. It's like, excuse me, sir, this is gay parking only. And he asks if they're gay. But there's this one case, this one old man he pranks that says some very interesting stuff. That'll make your eyes go wide and be like, why does he know about that?
Okay. Now, is this San Francisco or?
I don't know where this is.
Sure.
This is earbud, so you can hear.
You bet.
All right.
Right on me.
Oh, wait, hold on. Is the audio on? Yes, it is. So, hold on. Let me replay it. So he puts up the gay parking sign, right?
Others will be towed and crashed.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Is this your vehicle?
Yes.
Oh, it is your vehicle?
Yes.
Are you gay by chance?
No.
Oh, you're not gay? This is actually a gay parking
It's
only,
not gay.
sir. Did you not see the sign when you pulled in?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's part of the LGBTQ community.
Oh.
Yeah. So I already wrote the ticket, sir. It's going to be a fine of $69.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I haven't even got out of the car yet.
Or unless you just tell me you're gay.
I'm gay.
Oh, you are gay. Why didn't you just say that, sir?
Oh, shit.
So he says I'm gay,
Yeah,
but
I'm
he's
gay. He
saying
threw it on it.
So he's saying that so he doesn't get this ticket. But
Sure.
listen, I want to turn this up. Listen carefully what he adds to this. So he's lying about being gay, but so listen carefully.
All right. I'm going to have to ask you a few questions real quick, and then I can let you go. Could you give me your best gay voice to prove that you're gay?
Okay. Daddy, chill.
What's that?
Daddy, chill.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Honestly.
Wow. So how does he? He must take in a lot of pop culture, I guess, or.
How old do you think this man is?
Oh, sheesh, 70s.
I'm thinking older than that.
Yeah, probably even older.
Scale 1 through 10, how gay are you?
80.
3? That's not gay enough. Maybe like 4? 4? Okay. Next question. Are you a top or bottom, sir? Top? Okay, okay. Next question. Do you spit or do you swallow?
Spit.
Oh, you're a spitter?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Last question here. How many men have you slept with?
1.
1?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty much
For a
everything.
long time.
What's that?
For a long time.
Oh, okay. All right, that's pretty much everything, sir. You're good to go, all right?
Okay.
You could park here now.
Why would an 85-year-old man know Daddy Chill?
Yeah, or top or bottom, or any, spit or swallow. I mean, those are all.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I thought he was going along with it, but then no, he's obviously gay, I guess.
All right. I got another sus video
Older homosexual man.
of somebody I've never covered on the show
Mm.
before.
Wow.
This is
$69.
Next one, Gavin McInnes, who I've never covered on the show ever, but I can do my Gavin McInnes impression. Probably not as good as my Anthony Bourdain, but I'll try it. Hold on, let me think of something. Sorry, I'm stalling here, but I'm trying to think of something something like he would say. I was in a punk band. You look like a guy that sucks off a Mexican in a parking lot. You're fucking gay. That's my Gavin McInnes impression there.
Pretty good. Pretty. Wow.
Yeah.
That's one to take
Clap.
out. Yeah. Wow.
But this is what. Okay, so there's a video where he's on this. This is a guy I can't stand. That's been popping up. Andrew Wilson, I think is his name. He's like a debater guy.
Okay.
He's like a Christian conservative debater, I think. And there's something up with him. It's like all these guys that kind of pop out of nowhere. It's like there's something up.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to ask
all these guys, there's something up. Like, there's these guys that come out of the woodwork. You're like, where did this guy came from?
Yeah.
This is a little weird. Like, back then it made sense. When we just had Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, because
Right.
there's nobody.
But now we got everyone
But
doing
every 2 months, a new person pops up you've never heard of, and this is one of those guys. And I guess he was on there. This is a clip, but I guess he was on a podcast. It was a typical, they invite a commentator on, and they're all like, what is it with woke culture these days? And then they talk about it. Yeah, isn't it ridiculous?
Oh man,
that kind of stuff. But this is a very. This popped on my YouTube. I just had it on the background while I was doing stuff, and then I heard this, and I did a little double take, because this is very sus. Now, Gavin McInnes is a claimed straight man who has married and has children. He is an alpha male. He founded the Proud Boys, very straight group.
Oh yeah, that's
right. And he founded Vice magazine. He's very into fashion. Another very straight.
Very straight endeavor.
And he says something that's very. Now I have to find a timestamp for this, so bear with me. I might have to skip through some of this.
So I got a bunch of questions.
So Andrew Wilson asked him the question, because for years people have made jokes that Gavin's gay, he's not a real alpha, because he did a series of videos where it's just about fashion, and because a lot of his audience is conservative, type guys that eat steak and work out, and they're all like, what are you, fucking gay? We don't care about fashion or whatever. And Andrew Wills finally asked him the question. A lot of people call you gay. Can you and there's been a lot of weird things you did. Can you specify?
Questions for my audience. I said when I'm down there.
Let's make money. And to employing women and their woke.
So let's get through this.
So it's your fault.
Yeah, well, so who are they not?
The rules don't apply to.
Instantly make an arrest, and the cop was like, no.
But they would if it was MAGA.
I hate people too make these clips where that's the headline. You're saying, oh, they're going to talk about, it's going to be all about that segment, but then it's just 25 minutes in the video.
Yeah, they would.
If it was Proud Boys waving
swords. How did you get to this label of neo-Nazis? Is it the Proud Boys stuff?
Okay, no,
so much hate for like guys who wear Crocs.
Wait.
So anytime people come up with personal assaults or personal attacks, things like this, they try to tie you to these insane groups. If you say, listen, if I can show up and defend myself and bring evidence, and you can bring evidence, and we have this moderated so that people can then...
you being chased out of the village.
Well, then they take that person and put them in with the... Now they're getting
Now
shamed.
you're both shamed.
Yeah, these are talking points I've heard for the past decade. I'm so tired of, let's have an open dialogue.
Yeah, no, this has really been... this format of entertainment has really been started.
Do it with Proud Boys too, and they do it with Trump. They do it with Tucker. They do it. I'm sure another one, but
did you say empty A cartons?
Yeah, won't go near it. Forget David Duke. They won't go near.
This is so unprofessional I'm doing right now. I should have found the timestamp.
And most of it has nothing to do with reality. It's
the politics I had when I was 14. You know. Interview Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, for him, the Tuskegee guys, they were just injected with syphilis.
Yeah.
This land was stolen from the Indians. This left is the total.
Ask those questions, you know. We ask them, whatever. We'll ask them kind of basic things like, can you name 3 countries? Is this just because they're worried about losing their status?
Lineage is money.
Okay.
Where
I didn't know
certain people they just cannot.
I mean, and I should have timestamped this. I apologize.
I'm pro-Israel. I'm compromise yourself. Like these cops,
TPUSA types. You know what I mean? Where it doesn't seem.
Even if Nick loses.
What's with the dildo rumor?
Oh,
what's with? But. The other question I had memorized, because this one came up all the time, because I have a pretty heavily Christian audience.
So I have to recite. So
predominantly
I said, a lot of people, because Gavin does the fashion. He did this series of videos where he's like talking about fashion, because he founded Vice, which is part of a fashion magazine. He didn't invent hipsters, but because he claims. He did invent the indie sleaze aesthetic, essentially.
It's a shame men wearing Crocs anymore, you know?
He did invent the whole indie sleaze aesthetic. I will give him that.
Okay.
That I've ripped, and many others have ripped off. But, so people, his audience are conservative Christian, types, and they're like, why are you fucking gay talking about fashion? And then Andrew Wilson has the balls to finally ask the question. Are you gay?
Ask Gavin about all the gay. Ask him about all the gay.
Oh,
what's with the dildo rumor?
Dildo.
Oh wow!
You got nervous.
Yeah, he's already look at that face, man.
He's like, dildo.
Yeah, dildo.
He didn't say even that loud. He said in a nervous, quiet voice. He went, dildo.
Well, look, you can see it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Man. He's like, oh fuck! I was not expecting him to ask me this.
What's with the making out with Milo? What's with all that?
I think that is a generational thing with Gen X. And I've lived in the city since I was 18, so I've always been I'm not allowed to swear, right?
No, you.
I've always been around.
He's already pulling that word out.
It's such a fun word to say.
I know, I love it.
It's such a fun word.
But like Bam Margera putting anal beads up and then having a kite pull them out on Jackass. That's sort of my people. That Shane Smith guy, we would make out with each other at parties just to gross everyone out. The Hells Angels used to do it in the 60s and 70s. Bikers were just to freak out the squares,
Real badass, but it's like
there's
okay,
no
back
such
in the
thing
day.
as there's no such thing as gay bikers.
Yeah.
There's
it's
no homosexuality.
It's unbelievable some of the shit he's already saying here. I mean,
well, it's like that's a Gen X thing. It's shoving beads up your ass and making out with your friend at parties that gross people out. That's just a Gen X thing. That's what we all do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I never. I could see right through this guy. Unfortunately, yeah. This was a good one for me to watch.
But there was a shooting at that gay nightclub, so it was my idea, and I said, let's go there the next day and say F Islam and make out as a F you to Muslims.
Because this was the Pulse nightclub.
Pulse. And that was dangerous.
Yeah.
We had like snipers on the, we didn't have snipers, we had bodyguards checking for snipers on the roof. It had just happened.
What a justification.
And then a bunch of gays, like a month later, would say, we stand with Pulse, and then would kiss their boyfriend in their living room. And I'm like, A, you're gay, so that's not hard to kiss your boyfriend. B, you're in the safety of your living room. I'm not gay, and I made out with Milo in front of the nightclub.
You made out with he even said Shane Smith's childhood best friend. He made out with his childhood best friend all the time, he said.
Right.
So he's telling these guys, well, it's not hard for you because you make out with guys all the time.
Right.
You make out with guys all the time.
Yeah, he did too, but I guess it's hard, it's harder for him.
Oh, dildo.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, he pulled out
He's nervous.
I don't know if can I say it on YouTube, but
yeah.
censored faggot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Because you either say faggot if you're, if you're like you're with a group and it's cool, it's like, yeah, I fucking faggot, whatever.
To be fair,
or it's insecure, like you're insecure about it. Like there's only two reasons you'd say that word. Either you're fucking around, people know that and it's cool.
Yeah.
Or you're insecure as fuck. I feel like he's insecure as shit because he brought that up right after the allegations.
Yeah.
Islam, that took some balls. So I'm very happy with that.
But Milo's pretty gay.
Oh, he's very gay. Although he says he's not anymore. But he was definitely gay back then.
He still seems pretty gay. Okay, it still seems little on the.
So I'm very proud of that one. That story's there. Gay isn't a thing to me. People, young men.
Oh yeah.
Are very scared of homosexuality. I just think it's like a sin, but it doesn't register.
But he does. I mean, he does gay stuff anyway.
Contradictions hurting my brain.
But did he know that? I don't know if he's going to talk about that as a lull on the show. He shoved a dildo up his ass for the lulls. For the lulls on his show.
Wow.
I mean, but I remember when it did. When I was like 12.
Yes.
Wow.
13, I went to see Rocky Horror again with Shane. We were childhood friends, and there's a scene.
What did him and Shane do?
Yeah.
They made out all the time. They saw Rocky Horror together.
Yeah. So that they must have got a little freaky in the past.
Frankenfurter is in bed with Brad. And I remember that scene being like an electric shock.
Oh.
I was just like, why is that in that movie? Like, I loved everything about that movie, but that one gay scene, now as an old man, I'd watch and be like, oh, then there's the gay scene. Like, it wouldn't do anything to me. But when you're going through puberty, you just pass it. When you're teen, it's like the most horrific, scary thing in the world. And like the modern context of homosexuality is kind of different too, with Drag Queen Story Hour and everything. They really have ruined their brand very recently with all this grooming stuff.
But wasn't it all the normalization of homosexuality that led all this to begin with?
Yes.
And it's like I think that's why people are so mortified. They're like, you are a party to this. Your lobby led to this.
Yeah, but the Pulse thing is I was trying to offend Muslims.
Yeah, no, I get it.
and then the other one that I always bring up. Oh wait, the reason I brought up the Rocky Horror thing is I think a lot of people don't like that a lot of my fans are young men. So they push the he's gay butt plug thing because it makes young men go,
because you did it. You did it. That's why. And there's too many weird histories of you doing homosexual stuff.
Yeah, he just said he used to make out with his friends.
But that's a Gen X thing. Even though I've known so many Gen Xers in my life, parents, family members, friend people. I've never heard Gen Xers talking about their gay experiences and like how it's funny. doing gays. I've never heard
No.
that.
No, that's just strange.
Ever.
So it's sort of like the Nazi thing. If you want to make women hate a guy, call him a Nazi and say he wants, to kill innocent Mexicans. And if you want to get young men to hate a guy, say he's gay and he loves making out with dudes. But yeah, the butt plug thing was just fun.
You do make out with dudes.
Yeah. So I don't understand. Dude, this guy is just all over the place.
Funny, we had a lot of stars on the show because this was back when it was Anthony Cumia's network and Shock Jock, porn stars around.
Anthony Cumia is not gay too. He spent a week with trans porn actress Sue Lightning for an entire week while nobody else was in his McMansion. I'm not gay.
No,
Anthony Cumia.
Straight dude hanging out with, a tranny porn star.
These savages, these black people, they're not human. That's my Anthony Cumia. He looks like a feral ghoul from Fallout. This Sicilian ghoul.
Yeah.
Anthony Cumia. His last name is literally Cum. They are savages. He talks about black people like he's Charleston Heston and Planet of the Apes. That's how he talks about them. That's his whole entire Twitter timeline is just videos of black crime. That's it. That's his entire Twitter.
Dang.
And so there was always sex toys on the desk and stuff that they would bring. And Hillary Clinton was dancing really badly, like this.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I'm
it's
like,
still a meme.
I'm going, what the heck is she doing? She dances like she's got something up her ass. And I go, I bet I could dance better than her with something up my ass. So I grabbed one of the dildos, and then I started dancing better than her, the butt plug. It wasn't like up, like the narrative they like to do is so that I was like, oh yeah, you like that. But it was more like, hey, and then dancing around better than Hillary. I did a card trick once where I took an ace of spades and I rolled it up into a condom and I put it up my and then I was doing street magic on the street. I was like, is this your card? And then I would pull a card out from like behind their jacket and they're like, no, that's not the card. It was the ace of spades. The whole deck was an ace of spades.
Yeah. It was
and
like
so
a Singali
all these
deck or
tourists,
whatever.
all
These
these
are
tourists
also
were
two
around.
like very like elaborate ass shoving tricks or whatever. They're very elaborate and oddly specific.
Yeah.
This is
like he's covering for it, like it's not just it's not as on the spot as he put a lot of thought into a lot of these things. I mean, he tells the stories and everything of them. He was very memorable for him.
I don't even know what my. This is very graphic. I apologize. I don't even know what my hole looks like.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can put. It's probably just like. So, but he's like, oh yeah, I've had this up there. I've had a deck of cards. Or what? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. For for who he's trying to be. He's trying to be like this,
And they're like, you're not good at magic. And I'm like, oh, aren't I? Well, is this your card? And they're, no, that's
There's
not
also
the
what
card.
guilty people do is they try to justify it for a long period of time. That's what guilty people do. They're like, I'm not this thing because of this and this. Now there's this time where I did this. However, it's not this, but this time, and then they talk for 10 minutes straight.
Oh yeah, they can't.
That's what guilty people.
Oh yeah, because the silence would just be a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
so
that's what he's. That's what he's doing right now. That's why he's touching his face.
Oh yeah, just between the two. I mean, Andrew Wilson is a lot more calm and everything. Versus Gavin here. Gavin's losing it a little bit.
I'm not a fucking gay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So then people start to leave, and then I go, wait. I think one last idea. And then I pull my pants down, find the condom, yank out the card, open it up, and that was the card.
That's a really gross magic trip. By the way.
Well, you know what's funny about it? And you know the expression like, "What's up your ass?"
Yeah.
I had to walk to the location, and I had an ace of spades at my, and I'm walking to the location, and I was in a bad mood, It does make you grumpy to have something up your.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I've never
there's
had anything
also-
up my ass. I don't know, but
There's also the expression, who pissed in your cornflakes? Is that Canadian or do you have that down here?
yeah, we have it here.
So I tried it once. I pissed into a bowl of cornflakes. And ate
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So he's just So he's gay. Gavin McCoy's gay. If we didn't already know.
it, and it hurts. Like the urine burns your mouth. If you have any cuts or anything, it's very painful.
Yeah,
it's like bleach.
You're not supposed to eat urinated cornflakes, Gavin.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. That's
Don't
bad,
do it.
Bad idea.
And once again, if someone pisses in your cornflakes, you are in a bad mood.
Yeah, I would be in a bad mood. I'd be in a bad
So
mood.
why does Andrew Wilson have a Kylo Ren shirt? That's actually gayer than anything Gavin's ever done. Kylo Ren?
The whole
The soy. I thought you were anti-woke. You're having you're wearing a Kylo Ren hoodie?
Yeah, the best villain in Star Wars, of course.
The woke Star Wars?
He's the best villain in Star Wars. You know, fuck General Grievous. Screw all those guys. Like, Kylo is the one.
Oh, I think that's the guy from Knights of the Old Republic. I'm just going to say it's Kylo Ren. It's Kylo Ren. I'm just saying that to piss off the Star Wars fans. It's not Kylo Ren. It's Darth Raven.
Well,
same thing.
I don't fucking remember.
Knights of the Old Republic is not even a good game. It's a terrible Xbox game with bad controls, and it doesn't hold up.
No.
It's a boring RPG game. RPGs are boring.
Yeah.
They're for nerds.
So if they pissed on anything and then I had to eat it, it doesn't matter what it was.
I gotta try throwing a wiener down a hallway. See if that one's real too.
Yeah. Tic tac down a whale's mouth. Yeah. So okay, two more. I had two more questions for you.
Okay.
These came up in the chat a bunch. What are your plans basically going forward? You're just gonna stick with your same network?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, they just skipped kind of over it after that.
Well, that was
that was horrible. What a shitty interview too. So who's watching this shit?
Gavin,
That's what I want to know.
When he's like, so they've been saying that you shoved a dildo up here. Dildo up my ass. That's what he did.
He's like, well,
yeah. And
well, me and my friend used to make out because it was against the Muslims. We went to the nightclub. There were snipers. Let me distract you. There were snipers. Fucking snipers, man. Yeah. Try to make it a little more macho for you. But yeah, this is what happened.
I was in a gay punk band. I was in a band.
Yeah, that's some closeted energy if I've ever seen it.
I don't have any more topics.
Yeah.
But did you have anything else to talk about?
No, just the dead giveaway for me was the use of the word fag.
I thought that was the funniest topic.
Oh,
I didn't expect it. I didn't think it would go that way.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
All right.
Proud boys. What do you do?
Yeah.
Show your colors, baby. We had a whole month last month, so good job, Gavin.
All right. I'm going to wrap up the show and have a good night.
Sayonara.